are these people?
As per usual, please share the stream, like the stream, sub to us. We are heavily suppressed. And people have actually told us that.
In these
Yeah.
times, Collin?
In these times, reported on this story a couple of days ago, written by Sarah Lazars and Jeff Shrieky, where they report Amazon says a worker's death was not work-related, but a 911 call appears to contradict the company's narrative. So it is kind of long, but I think it's important to read all of it given the details in the story. So let's get into it. On the afternoon of June 2nd, Amazon worker Robert A. Kika died after suffering a medical emergency while working at the company's cross-dock facility in Joliet, Illinois. The temperature in Joliet that afternoon was 90 degrees. Amazon has repeatedly denied that workplace conditions had anything to do with the death of the 59-year-old and stated that the tragedy was due to a non-work-related medical incident. There is no evidence that this unfortunate incident was related to tasks the employee was performing as part of his standard work in our climate control facility that did not exceed 77 degrees. Maureen Lynch Boydgall, an Amazon spokesperson, wrote in an email on June 4th, 2 days after Kika's death. But the death at the facility, which is known as MDW2, has raised the concerns of at least one city official. I find it incredibly hard to believe that the circumstances of Kika's work had nothing to do with the circumstances of his death. Joliet City Council member Cesar Guerrero tells in these times a Workday magazine. I didn't know Roger or the conditions under which he worked specifically, but I've known plenty of people who have worked at Amazon, friends, family members, and every single one of them has had some horror story or another. Warehouse Workers for Justice, a workers' rights nonprofit that is affiliated with the United Electrical, Radio, and Machine Workers of America, is also asking questions about Kika's death and has tried to raise the alarm about Amazon's history of worker safety issues. In a statement, the organization wrote, "We're asking the relevant authorities to seek greater oversight of industry practices with regard to emergency medical services to ensure that all warehouse workers across Will County are kept safe." New information collected by In These Times, a Workday magazine, also raises questions about the circumstances surrounding Kika's death. An audio recording of a 911 call placed by another Amazon employee, which was obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request, shows that the individual making the call believed the cause of Kika's medical distress was possibly dehydration, the only potential cause cited by the caller. This recording appears to contradict Amazon's narrative that the cause of death was not related to conditions in and around the warehouse, and raises questions about whether his death could have been prevented. Kika was an Air Force veteran nicknamed Santa by coworkers because of his white beard and jolly demeanor. He worked as an electric pallet jack operator at Amazon's MDW2 cross-dock warehouse that allows the company to ship in bulk and is known for the rapid movement of goods. Amazon told In These Times, a Workday magazine, that after Kika suffered a medical incident, he was first brought to AmCare, Amazon's in-house first aid clinic. After his symptoms changed, Amazon said it called 911 when asked. The company would never reveal what his initial symptoms were or how they changed, citing unspecific privacy issues. The company did not specify who at Amazon made a call, but said the call came from someone within the company. In the audio recording of the call, which was made at 1:19 p.m. on June 2nd, a woman can be heard requesting an ambulance. She explained that Kika was within the medical facility where he was unconscious but breathing and had medical staff with him. The dispatcher asked, "Do you know what caused this?" After getting no response, he repeated, "Ma'am, do you know what caused this?" She replied, "Not sure, dehydration."
Oh, so she knew. Got it.
Well, the thing is, hold on. When she says, like, okay, not sure, dehydrate. I mean, you know, when somebody who's at risk of losing their life. I mean, not defending Amazon here, but maybe the person here making the phone call, they could be panicking because somebody's dying, and a lot of emotions can be impacting a person and their mindset. So we have to factor that in here.
It's Vogel that's making the claims of, oh yeah, dehydration couldn't be a thing. This was this lady's first response under panic was dehydration. So something's up, So mainly Amazon and Kathy Vogel is evil. Whoever that Vogel is.
Yeah. Less than 2 minutes later in the recording, emergency responders can be heard saying that Kika had gone into cardiac arrest. The Joliet Fire Department confirmed that it responded to a male in cardiac arrest at the MDW2 facility, but offered little information. The employees of the warehouse had used an AED on the patient, and the patient had temporarily regained a pulse. The patient did not sustain the pulse while being transported to the hospital, said Joliet Fire Chief Jeffrey Carey. Kika died on the way to the hospital. Tommy Carden is an organizer with WWJ. He says, from day one, Amazon has tried to make it seem like it wasn't their fault. It's all pre-existing conditions, it's all non-work related, and now we're learning something someone thought it was dehydration. If dehydration put stress on Kika's system and contributed to the heart attack, Carden says, this raises questions about the safety of Amazon workers, especially as temperatures rise during the summer months. Severe dehydration can be a contributing factor to cardiac arrest. If ANCARE misinterpreted a heart attack and thought it was dehydration, he adds, that's also really problematic because it means they could have wasted precious time that was needed to get Roger the true medical care that was needed. According to the Cleveland Clinic, time is critical in treating a heart attack, and a delay of even a few minutes can result in permanent heart damage or death. Either way, Carden says, the 911 call raises questions about why Amazon is so confident Kika's death had nothing to do with his workplace environment. Asked to comment on the 911 call and WWJ's reaction, Amazon would only say that the company had already provided the information on this non-work related incident. Amazon's Vogel completely said Kika's death was not work related and that the company has made counseling services available to warehouse employees.
Oh God.
Oh,
okay.
But you got a comment?
Oh no, it's just we're gonna give you counseling, but
this reminds me of when Pashan passed away.
Right.
And according to what I remember when we did that report, I think the family was offered, it wasn't much. I think it may have been
like bereavement and
2 months worth of counseling. I think it was.
Anything to get Amazon off the hook on this, pretty much.
Right.
Well, when we look at somebody like this passing away, a lot of things are going, are flying under the radar at Amazon. Okay, when it comes down to worker safety, I mean, this isn't anything new. I mean, just even last year in 2022, hell, even going into 2021, how many incidences did we cover of overpowering? Let me rephrase this. Overwhelming power of nature accidents happening, such as a tornado hitting an Amazon Amazon facility, that which they could have evacuated hours in advance, but again, management told them no, just hide in a bathroom, which is not the smart thing to do. There's been other incidences even during the height of the pandemic where you had Amazon workers conducting COVID-19 testing, and none of them are certified in the medical field industry, being nurses or doctors or anything of that nature. So when we see this worker who unfortunately passed away, unfortunately, it's this is the norm. This is to be expected if you work at Amazon. You are you're not only just a number. You're just one random piece of equipment that could be easily replaced by Amazon and its managerial class. You are not considered to be a person. You're only.
We want to have just an off-the-cuff chat between you
Wow.
and me. Us.
Oh, that's
We
me.
want
I
to
got
talk
it.
right down to earth
Hello?
in a language.
Rumble. Relax, Rumble. It's gonna be
Yes.
okay. I know you need to play our intro, Rumble, when I just randomly go over to check chat. But
Yeah.
you know.
So, but hey, it was great hearing the words of Malcolm X, because you know,
Right.
his words still resonate to this day. But in all seriousness, this is a human being, a life that has been lost because of, again, negligence. And the thing is, a lot of these Amazon workers have to show up to work because
Yeah.
it's their only means of survival, and a lot of them, I'm willing to bet, would love to do a workers' strike or do a general strike towards Amazon, but there's a lot of fear in that environment. And even if you do have medical issues, you can't bring them up to management because management doesn't care. They don't care. They really don't care. You're only as good as the work you put in, and so people put their lives at risk. And the thing is, you know, in a hypothetical scenario, let's just say there's an Amazon worker who is operating heavy machinery like a forklift. Depending on the size, what if he passes out or she passes out? They have like a heart attack or something of that nature. And oh no, a runaway machine carrying heavy material or just a forklift just out of control. That's a serious danger. And the reason why that is a serious danger is because the possibility of it happening at an Amazon facility is very likely. So people dying of heart attacks, people dying of dehydration, people dying of just stress upon their body for doing these or filling out these
People
ridiculous
dying
quotas.
of tornado attacks rolling through their
Exactly.
Amazon workplace that they
It,
could have sent them
it's-
home from.
Exactly. It should tell you the ridiculous puritanical logic that's been ingrained in us as Americans. Now, look, I'm not against hard work. I'm all for it. But if we're in this mindset of work, and get close to God, work, and maybe you can make it, what you're inviting is only an epic failure of disaster and your own harm. This puritanical logic of just working, maybe you'll make it. It doesn't work. Okay. And people, hopefully someday Americans do wake up and realize that we do have our own worth. Okay. I've sometimes gotten pushed back from this, saying, "Oh, kid, you're against people just wanting to put in the grind." No, hey, we all do the grind. There's doing the grind, and then there's grinding yourself to death.
Right.
And I do not condone someone working until they cannot even stand on their own two legs. That is not only brutal, it is inhumane, and we are far better than that, and we should be far better than that. But this won't be the first time, nor the last time we'll be reading a story about an Amazon worker dying in a situation similar to what you're reading about right now, Collin.
Yep. Yep. Oh.
So let's continue because it's going to get worse.
Hey, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Well, in the realm of capitalism, when it doesn't get any better.
No.
Actually, I'll read that paragraph again. Amazon's Vogel repeatedly said Kika's death was not work-related and that the company has made counseling services available to the warehouse employees. But Collin says, we've heard from many workers at MDW2 about temperature issues, not just this week, but for years, especially at the docks. Based on what I've heard from workers, we simply don't believe it's true that the temperature does not rise above 77 degrees. 3 workers at the MDW2 facility, speaking on condition of anonymity, thank you, due to concerns about retaliation, said the area near the docks where Kika normally worked is exposed to outdoor temperatures and can get extremely hot in the summer, especially the trailers outside. Those trailers are sitting outside in the sun. There's nothing covering them. Those trailers are not air conditioned, one of the workers said. That's like an easy bake oven.
Yep.
In all honesty, that warehouse during the summer is hotter than it is outside, another worker said. That man worked in the trailer. We're also in the trailer stacking. The fans they give us do not reach all the way inside either. Amazon said Kika was not in the trailers at the time of the incident, but was working as a trainer in a climate-controlled outbound buffer near the dock. The company also said that employees at the facility have access to 60 water coolers and are encouraged to take water breaks. But WWJ Representative Andrew Herrera said workers regularly report facing demerits or being let go because of strict quotas that mean they don't always have time to take water breaks. Sound familiar?
Yeah. I mean, they also can't take pee breaks. We know about those jars they keep. You know?
Asked to respond, Amazon's Vogel wrote, employees are allowed and encouraged to take short breaks whenever they need to for water, to use the restroom, or to speak with a manager or HR. Herrera said all official policies availability of water stations or other supposed accommodations are meaningless window dressing if workers do not believe that they can use those resources without reprimand.
I mean, they should just
Amazon
give them still suits. That way they can just recycle their water, you know?
You know what? I could see them making something like that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But it goes against all like safety regulations. Like then they'll probably like a warning label. Warning: do not drink your own water because it will contaminate you. This suit is not what's it, FDA can
FDA approved. Yeah, not an FDA approved still suit.
Yes.
You know, spice consumption once a week will only anyway.
Amazon has been widely criticized by lawmakers in states including New York, California, and Connecticut for a strict quota system, not allowing employees to take breaks whenever they need them.
Strongly worded letters that criticizing, sounds like.
Carey, the fire chief, said there is nothing in the emergency medical service report to confirm that Kika's incident was caused by excessive heat or the work he was doing. We do not determine cause of death. That information is determined by the coroner, he said. Reached by phone, the Will County Coroner's Office declined to comment.
Of
Do
course.
you wonder why? A spokesperson for State Rep Lawrence Walsh Jr. said the lawmaker's office was told that when Kika's body arrived at the hospital, a doctor determined the death to be by natural causes, so his remains were never under the coroner's jurisdiction. OSHA has already closed its investigation into Kika's death. An OSHA spokesperson said the death was determined to be by natural causes and not heat-related.
Of course.
But according to Carden, the 911 call raises new questions. This revelation, he says, warrants a reopening of the inspection into Rogers' death with consideration of employee hydration and water breaks at MDW2 and the role that AmCare plays in delaying and preventing appropriate medical treatment for workers. A recording of another 911 call from the neighboring MDW4 Amazon Fulfillment Center, obtained by a FOIA request, shows that Kika was not the only Amazon worker in Joliet reporting suffering from dehydration that day. Around 7 hours later, a woman who appears to be from AmCare called 911 to seek help for a 29-year-old man. I have an associate that is here at Amazon. He came in feeling severely dehydrated, dizzy, and just kind of like out of it. We've been giving him water ice packs, said the woman in the call, made at 8:24 on June 2nd. When asked if there was a certain door the ambulance should go to, the caller from Amazon states it would be the main entrance door. They are very familiar with the entrance. They come here quite often, sadly to say. Asked to comment on this other June 2nd incident and the 911's caller's statement that ambulances are often called to the warehouse, Amazon would only say that the company had already provided information on this non-work related incident, presuming referring to Kika's death.
Yeah.
It remains unclear how much time passed between Kika's initial medical incident, where he was sent to AmCare, and when Amazon called the ambulance. This lack of information is frustrating for one of Kika's former co-workers who requested anonymity over concerns about retaliation. I want to know what happened during those valuable minutes between when they found him and when they called 911, said the individual. The company claims that Kika did not want outside medical treatment, but in these times of Workday magazine were unable to confirm this assertion about his preferences. Amazon declined repeated requests for information about critical details, including the precise timeline of the incident, the symptoms Kika displayed and how they changed, and how long he was in Amcare before the 911 call. The company cited privacy issues, but did not respond to requests to outline its specific privacy concerns, which is confusing given that it voluntarily shared other personal medical details about Kika, including that he allegedly did not want outside treatment, that he allegedly was not in a collapsed state when he was found, and his death allegedly did not relate to his workplace. Warehouse Workers for Justice is calling on Amazon to share greater details about how it plans to minimize response time for medical emergencies, the organization said in a statement. Amcare, which is staffed by emergency medical technicians and athletic trainers, has been criticized by OSHA for allegedly failing to refer workers to doctors or hospitals when needed. A 2019 investigation by The Intercept and Type Investigations found that Amcare employees nationwide were pressured to sweep injuries and medical issues under the rug at the expense of employee health. In various instances, the report states, OSHA investigators found that Amcare medical staff decided to treat employees in-house rather than referring them to doctors or hospitals. OSHA's cross criticisms of Amcare were unrelated to the agency's investigation into Kika's death.
Of course, sure, unrelated.
Wow.
Unrelated.
Okay, so the way they're just saying that's unrelated. Okay, how many times has there been workers bringing up the fact that they are afraid of being dehydrated or overworking? Like, again, what are the overall schedules and shifts between workers, doing this heavy manual labor? When we look at all the stories that we have covered in Amazon, worker safety is at the bottom of the totem pole. Hell, dare I say, it's not even at the bottom of the totem pole. It's underneath the totem pole. It's underneath the dirt that's underneath the totem pole. You have workers who are doing all of this dangerous work. And again, I get it. You have to move this stuff to mail it out to some jagoff who ordered it on the Amazon website. But we have to take in safety for individuals that are, I guess, more or less putting their life on the line so that people can have instant gratification. We're living in an episode.
The heroes, they're heroes.
Well, yeah. Know? Well, here's the thing. I mean, actually, I would say after everything they've been through, it is quite heroic. Doing what? Ridiculous hours just to make the quotas, because they are being clocked. I mean, how many times have we covered stories of Amazon workers being timed when they go on a goddamn bathroom break? Or, hey, most notably, Amazon truck drivers wearing adult goddamn diapers and their trucks being monitored for how long they're at a break station or how long it's taking them to get from point A to point B. So instead of making things more reasonable for the truck drivers and the people unloading the cargo, hey, have your truck drivers just wear adult diapers. Yeah, they shit their pants. That's where we've gotten to as society. No human dignity at all. You're a grown adult. Yeah, you're not a senior citizen that's lost control of their body. And look, hey, I get it. Senior citizens, when they get to a certain age, adult diapers are important because that's what they need. And if you're a baby, hey, it's reasonable. It's understandable. But if you are a functioning adult in this country and you have no health problems, you have nothing that's going to impact your entire digestive system or whatever, there's no reason for you to be wearing an adult diaper. Unless you're working for a psychotic corporation and psychotic managers and CEOs that only care about profit, and making their end quota meet. I mean, it is unthinkable that we have gotten this far as a country to where it's acceptable for our truck drivers to wear adult diapers, and it's order to appease their Amazon overlords.
Well, kid, if our president can do it, you should be able to wear adult diapers too.
Come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. I got the Superman deadpans on. Superman underwear. Come on,
hilarious.
Jack. All the cool kids crap their pants.
Come on, man.
But anyway, you got some more of this?
Yeah, I got a little more. Let's see. Yeah, I'll start here. One worker who asked to remain anonymous for fear of retaliation. Jesus, like, how many times
Another
I've
one.
They're always afraid. Everyone's always afraid.
Right.
Man.
That in all should tell you something. That workers are afraid to talk because they're afraid of losing their jobs versus trying to be in solid, not to say they're not, but yeah, just the idea that they don't want to out themselves is very telling.
Suffered a broken foot. Jesus Christ.
But anyway, one worker who asked to remain anonymous for fear of retaliation expressed concern that AmCare at the Joliet warehouse complex does not provide care that proactively protects worker health. The Amazon employee who once suffered a broken foot at the MDW2 facility told In These Times and Workday magazine that AmCare staff did not diagnose the injury or recommend an x-ray, but only told the worker to elevate the foot and put ice on it. When something happens to you, they're not going to offer any type of suggestions, the worker says of AmCare. You have to be your own doctor. Amazon did not respond directly to the worker's claim, but said that employees can seek outside medical treatment if they want to, and workers who need care beyond first aid are encouraged to seek it off-site. Nope.
You got it?
Yeah.
It is.
We take the safety and well-being of our employees extremely seriously. Claims that we intentionally or systematically delay care to keep injured employees on the job are wrong, said Vogel. The June 2nd tragedy is only the latest in a series of widely reported fatalities and injuries at Amazon warehouses in recent years. In 2017, another Amazon worker in Joliet died of a heart attack while on the job. The 57-year-old worked at the MDW4 fulfillment center next door to the MDW2 facility. His widow later filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Amazon, alleging the company needlessly delayed emergency care, but last year, a judge granted summary judgment in favor of the company. Last July, a 42-year-old Amazon worker also died of a heart attack at the company's EWR9 fulfillment center in Carteret, New Jersey, during the Prime Day sales rush, which we reported on the network. Workers alleged sweltering conditions inside the warehouse at the time, but an OSHA investigation determined the cause to be myocardial fibrosis unrelated to work.
So died suddenly is what you're telling me.
Right.
Literally, that's what you're telling me. Myocarditis, fibrosis. Okay.
Amazon upgraded the facility's air conditioning system soon after the incident. Gee, I wonder why they did that.
Uh-huh.
How much you want to bet they cut corners setting that thing up too?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they did.
Like we've talked about how they have their AC literally lights on fire in other Amazon facilities, like, and they had to deal with the smoke for days. Like, yeah, just terrible. Oh, we get to New Jersey, huh? What terribleness in New Jersey is happening?
Speaking of which, hi, Indy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Another employee at the New Jersey Amazon warehouse died last summer after suffering an accident on the job. Those and other deaths prompted the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York to launch an ongoing federal investigation into workplace safety at Amazon facilities nationwide.
They had an accident. Like,
no, but yeah, Tad more of the scene from Goodfellas. Look, there was an accident. We had a problem. There was nothing we could do about it. There was nothing we could do about it. There was a problem.
There was a problem. Oh,
the Department of Justice's Civil Division is also probing whether the company tried to fraudulently hide the true number of workplace injuries. Last December, OSHA hit Amazon with 14 citations for failing to properly record injuries and illnesses.
Okay. Yeah.
The Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, chaired by Bernie, is now also launching an investigation into health and safety conditions at Amazon warehouses. I have something to say about that in a minute, but
yes,
the company's quest for profits at all costs has led to unsafe physical environments, intense pressure to work at unsustainable rates, and inadequate medical attention for tens of thousands of Amazon workers every year. Sanders wrote in a June 20th letter to Amazon
He
CEO.
wrote a letter. They
Jassy.
literally write letters.
Now, Reef, I played when Chris Smalls spoke at Prashant's event last week, which he spoke at in January, and he actually did another rally outside Jeff Bezos's mansion in DC over the weekend. Now, if you remember from that clip, and I won't play it, but you remember him saying how he mentioned the fact that how certain politicians have offered to help but didn't. I'm guessing that Bernie Sanders would be one of them.
Well, of course, it's
strike
be
killer,
expected
Bernie
about Bernie.
Sanders.
Right. And now Chris Small said this back in January. He met with Bernie Sanders at their victory thing. Well, when was it? Last spring?
Something like
so
Yeah,
from
so
last April to now, Bernie writes a strongly worded letter to Amazon basically saying, check yourselves.
You cut it out.
Oh, wow, Bernie. Thanks for writing that freaking letter. That also fantastic letter. It's a piece of paper. It's like when Cersei ripped out that piece of paper that Ned Stark handed her in Game of Thrones. All you got is a piece of paper. She ripped it up. Okay, great. Bernie, write another letter. Again, what a goddamn cuck. I'm sorry, folks, but if you're a diehard Bernie Sanders supporter now, even in 2023, I'm going to look at you like you believe in the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus. Better yet, I'm going to treat you like a moron. I'm not going to call you a moron. I'm going to treat you like one. You're special in the head. Yeah, obviously, there's nothing I could say to you that could fix it. But I mean, if this is what it's come down to, Bernie Sanders writing a strongly worded letter. Oh my goodness gracious, Cretaceous! Great job, Bernie. But it's not going to inspire a goddamn thing. A letter.
Dude, a letter. Yeah, it's a letter.
Over a year later.
A year later, he writes a letter.
After he met with Chris Smalls. Okay.
Yeah.
A recent report by the union-supported Strategic Organizing Center found that while Amazon employed 36% of all U.S. warehouse workers in 2022, the company was responsible for 53% of all serious injuries in the industry. Meanwhile, the National Council for Occupational Safety and Health placed Amazon on its 2023 Dirty Dozen list for unsafe employers.
They could have at least made a baker's dozen,
So far this year, OSHA has cited Amazon 4 times for safety violations at 7 different facilities across the country. 3 of the citations targeted more than one. OSHA investigations say the company has exposed warehouse workers to a high risk of low back injuries and other musculoskeletal disorders by demanding they work at a rapid pace. Last month, a 20-year-old worker died after suffering a head injury at an Amazon fulfillment center.
Wait, what was the age?
20.
Oh, God.
After suffering a head injury at an Amazon fulfillment center in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That incident is currently being investigated by OSHA.
20 years old. He didn't even live life, man.
That sucks.
God damn it. Hey, Bernie, great job with that fantastic letter.
Yeah.
Hey, Bernie, are you going to write to your friend Joe? Oh, wait, Joe can't read anymore.
Joe?
My good friend Joe? Friend Joe? God, what a cock. What? Honestly, I have to live with this now. In 2020, I really thought his campaign was going to be ready. That's my own arrogance. I really thought that they would be ready.
Dude, look at all the...
Live with that. I take back
the tornado hit. Here's just... And a worker death.
Most of these I pulled, just a quick search, but most of these were within the last 2 years that I happened to find.
Jesus
And I'm
Christ.
sure there's a lot more than this. But but yeah, I have something to say, and I know I'm gonna get heat for this, but I don't give a shit. Where's Chris Smalls in speaking about this? I mean,
ooh, I know. He's doing stuff with Gucci and Zendaya. That's what he's doing.
look,
Again? Wait, no,
Not
seriously,
again,
what is it?
but like a while ago, you know, he literally
Look,
did a thing with Gucci. Not like
Look.
he just wears Gucci, which he does. No, he did a fundraising event with Gucci. Like,
Look,
you
Not
can't.
smart plan.
No, like we can be doing better, bro.
Here's the thing. I want to be very careful with my words because I don't want people attacking us because there are plenty of people who like Chris Smalls for whatever reason at this point, and for some reason I've been the pinata in regards to the hate that whenever we had our criticism against Chris Smalls. But again, the idea that Chris Smalls over the weekend he did the same meetup with regarding Pashawn Brown, who also another worker who died at an Amazon warehouse, did a similar thing where her sister Tina spoke. Same thing. Look, that's all said and good, but we talked about this. Smalls always targets Bezos as the issue. And I know you have the clip, Reef, but I want you to play that.
I do. I just have to scroll up to here.
Unity doesn't represent what you're against. It represents what you are for.
That's
right.
Stuff.
That it's we don't give a fuck about Bezos. Not to say we don't, but it's like Bezos is only a part of the problem. The problem that Chris Smalls should be mentioning is all of this. Again, why isn't the ALU should be promoting this
every bit of this
all
the time.
over the place? But instead, what do we see Chris Smalls doing? Like traveling to Cuba, traveling like at the time
politicizing as much as possible his union.
At the time when
leave it.
At the time that this stuff occurred, he was in the UK. Like there was a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, they only reported on the death after I tweeted it out.
Yeah.
And in embarrassment, the ALU tweeted out that story.
Now, wait a minute. To be fair, has he been doing anything with Amazon Union at this point? Like,
we don't even know if he's gotten that one win he's gotten. That's still up for dispute. Like, that's still up for dispute.
Oh God!
Like that one, the other one, like they got voted down, I think, right?
Okay.
And then he's been in Cuba recently, trying to show solidarity there. You know, they did like a parade the other day.
Well, what's he doing in Cuba?
Good question. Been there a couple times.
We don't exactly know, but lately he's basically on tour, basically bringing the idea of labor to the mainstream consciousness. Meanwhile, all of this stuff is happening, and to be fair, I checked. Chris didn't report on this story. The LU didn't report on this. They reported on Pashawn Brown, but I know that would happen because Tina and to be very transparent, I've spoken to Tina back a few months ago. And I know her well enough that she would push Chris Smalls in order to do something like that. Basically, she would say to him, I want you to do this for me, and Chris Smalls will. But there should be that same kind of care or concern.
For all of these.
All of these.
Wow.
If you please. I mean, you could rack them up.
And this is why, and India, I know, has said this many times, and I'll say it right now. This is where independent media comes in, especially for certain channels that claim, oh, we report the drama and all that kind of stuff. Like ALU, you have many independent news channels available And me and others have tried to reach out to you to help to elevate a lot of these issues so that you can at least kind of take care of not having to kind of do all of this media work by yourselves. But
Ask them.
again, it's like the idea that I had to pull up all of those articles, and I'm sure most of them weren't reported by Chris Moss or the AAU. That should really be the thing that really should be driving your activism right now. It's the fact that people are still dying.
Mhm.
People are still getting hurt at Amazon.
Grow up, get serious.
And they're getting away with it.
Oh,
But I mean, that's all I got to say.
Ask them the question.
I mean, that's all I got to say because again, I don't want, and like you can be a fan of Chris Smalls if you want, but again, our idea is if he was really doing what he should be doing, he should be elevating the workers instead of attacking Jeff Bezos. And I believe that's out of a personal vendetta for Bezos based on what Bezos said about him, about being stupid or whatever, you know. But we
I
just
need to get
more
the
of these
Arsenio Hall like barking guy on the soundboard just for when Collin goes off, you know. Just, you know, get him, dog.
But anyway, so I don't. So this story again is partially for people who say, "Oh, we don't report on anything important." Here we go, but also to kind of once again call out the person who was supposed to lead the charge in this. And if it wasn't for us reporting on this, I'm not sure if this story would have been reported at all.
Like many of the stories we do.
Right.
And Hardlands does. Kit, you got anything to close us out on this with?
Unfortunately, this will not be the first nor the last that you will be reading about of somebody dying in an Amazon facility. To all these activists and organizers, where are you? I know right now a lot of people are distracted by the electoral politics or something else that's right now capturing mainstream media attention, but the worker abuse and negligence that's happening at Amazon is still ongoing. And if we are truly to fight and build for a better future, the first step is most definitely acknowledging that there's something wrong. And if we allow ourselves to remain quiet, more good people will suffer. And people are afraid to speak out. And rightfully so, because again, in this economy where all of our jobs are important, you lose your job, you lose your income, you lose all the benefits that come with it. And oh, hey, the rent's due, the mortgage is due. You gotta pay off the electric bill, the water bill, the gas bill. When did it come to this?
Well, the idea that, you know, many unions endorsed Biden not even a year out before the election.
Biden, the most anti-union president in U.S. history.
Yeah.
Like
union leadership, seriously. Way to fuck over your people.
Right. And it's like, how can you endorse Biden when all of this stuff is going on? And this has not been taken care of.
Yeah.
So it just kind of shows there's no solidarity among unions at all, number one. But then number two, you know, that doesn't give me hope that a revolution is going to happen. If you can't even support, and again, as we read in the article, many of these workers are scared to talk because they're afraid that, and that shouldn't be an issue.
No.
Their colleague died on site. So they shouldn't be living in fear of their jobs because on account of someone dying, that person can get justice.
Yeah.